rules or agreements for a conscious community to thrive? Well, whether that community is me, myself, and I, whether that community is my family, nuclear family, extended family, or whether it's a community of a few dozen, a few hundred. On every level, I think actually the answers would be the same. Which is, number one, everyone must be responsible for himself or herself. That which erodes the community within myself or in any relationships is blaming. To the extent that I am miserable because of something you have said or done, we are not a conscious community. And so I think the first rule would be everyone must be responsible for himself or herself. You may act a certain way. You may speak something. That's your karmic package, and we'll come to those rules in a moment. But my anger, my upsetness, my outrage, that's me. Until and unless you have figured out how to synthesize and inject anger into my bloodstream with a syringe, I cannot blame you for my anger. But we say all the time, you made me mad. I'm angry because of you. I was so peaceful and wonderful, then you came home and ruined it. Why'd you have to come home? Everything was so good before you came home. Why'd you have to talk to me? Everything was so good before you talked to me. No. Before you talked to me, I was manufacturing peace and love, joy. And after you started talking to me, I started manufacturing anger. Right here, in me. Not you. You didn't take a syringe of anger and inject it into my brain or my bloodstream. You simply spoke, or did something, or broke a glass. Who knows what you did? But you did it. And unless the it was taking a syringe of anger and injecting it into my bloodstream, I cannot blame you for the fact that I now am angry. So if we're going to be conscious, we have to stop saying, you are the reason I am angry. No, I am the reason I am angry. I may have chosen to be angry based on something you did. That is my prerogative. You may have been the catalyst for me to start manufacturing anger inside. But you didn't do it. So I think that would be the first one. The second would be that everyone had to, I would insist, if I were queen of this community, in charge, laying the laws, I would insist that everyone have a very strong and deep process of self-inquiry. And whether we call it therapy, whether you call it analysis, whatever term we use for it, I would insist that everyone undergo some process of introspection, because otherwise we have no idea what our stencils are. And as long as I don't know what it is that triggers me to be angry, as long as I don't know what narrow vision it is that I'm using to see the world, I'm going to keep being in pain and being in trouble. And I'm going to keep blaming others. And then I'm going to keep creating trouble for others. But of course, I'm going to blame them for it. Even if I don't blame them verbally, I'll blame them in my own mind, then I'll be miserable. And so I would insist that everyone have a practice of deep introspection. What are my particular buttons? What are my particular challenges? What are the things that really trigger me? So that then we could work on them. And lastly, I would insist that there not be a sense of what's important and what's not. You obviously have to have roles, and certain people are going to do this and certain people are going to do that, and somebody's going to garden and somebody's going to cook and somebody's going to, make the road, and somebody's going to teach the school, and somebody's going to set up a fire station. And we all have to have roles. And the roles are going to interweave with each other. But I would insist, I think also, that nobody feel that their role is less important. Because otherwise, everybody spends their time wishing that they were doing somebody else's role. And so just like in a body, my ears do one thing, my tongue does something else, my colon does something else, my toes do something else. But none is more important than the other. Each of them fulfills a very unique role in the functioning of my body. And in the same way in our society. Yes, there have to be different roles and different jobs and duties. But nothing should be higher or lower, so that no one feels higher than or less than. And so that everyone is honored for what they do.